Well, welcome everybody. Let's see, what do we got here? So I'm just gonna take a roll call. As always, Jamie's ahead of everybody by putting her name in, as always. Just as I call roll call, just put it into the chat so that we know everybody is here. I welcome everybody on this lovely Friday afternoon. All right, so PSIS 30, PS 48, IS 62, PS 69, PS 102, PS 105, PS 112, PS 127, PS 160, PSIS 163, PS 164, PS 170, PS 176, PS 179, PSIS 180, PS 185, PS 186, IS 187, PSIS 192, PS 200, IS 201, PS 204, PS 205, IS 220, IS 223, IS 227, PSIS 229, PS 247, IS 259, PS 264, PS 310, PS 503, PS 506, PS 682, PSIS 686, PS 748, MS 936, PS 939, and PS 971. I think we have everybody. If I missed anybody, please put it in the chat. And we will begin. Okay. For the roll call of ourselves, President Janine Fausner here. Tamara Stern. Our
Here.
Vice President. Vito, our treasurer, is on the way. So let's get into the nitty gritty. All right, so who's set up for elections already, ladies? Anybody? Nobody?
Yeah, we're ready to go.
You're ready to go.
Tuesday
Excellent.
night, yeah.
Oh, 503 is giving me a thumbs up. Excellent. Okay, anybody else? Mine is the 27th of May. Luckily, I have two people stepping up for co-presidents. That's about it. That's the extent so far.
185 is
people.
next Thursday.
And 3 people for SLT. I'm sorry, what'd you say, Madeline?
185's election is Thursday, the 20th.
You're good. You are like right. You're just whipping along.
102 is done.
102 is done. Nishani, what are you doing over there? That's awesome. Let's see. Karen says the 205 it has theirs on May 25th. Okay.
Ours is the same as Madeline's, the 20th.
Okay, the 20th.
We have a full board coming back, so.
Nice.
Us too.
Excellent.
Oh,
Anybody
sort of.
else? Full boards? Anybody who needs assistance? Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Oh, no, that's okay. Yeah, no, we're losing 2, but we have people that have already stepped up pretty
Okay.
quickly.
Excellent. Excellent.
Janine, I know Vito's not here, but 187, we're having some issues recruiting people to
I heard. He's yeah, that's not good.
No, it's not good because even if one of us goes into a different position, we still can't have a
Right.
viable board.
Exactly. Right. So yeah, we have to, yeah. What about anybody else? Anybody have any issues with elections or holding elections or need a run through how to do a virtual? You guys are old hat at all this by now. Nobody? Everybody's good? Everybody's so quiet today. Oh my goodness. It'll be a quick meeting. All right. What else? So with elections, everybody's good. Wonderful. Audit committees. Everybody's supposed to have an audit committee of at least 3 people. Trying to think, 3 people. If you guys are allowed to have it, that's fine. In your building, that's awesome. Is there anybody who's unsure how to do an audit committee or what audit is? No? Look at that. Oh. Oh, Mr. Labella, are you here?
I am here, and the superintendent is going to be joining us shortly.
Excellent. Well, we're gonna go back.
He's
to
here,
Susan.
actually. He's right there.
There he is. Look at that. Excellent.
Hi, everybody. Happy
Welcome, Mr.
Friday.
Petto. How are you?
You know, doing okay. How you doing?
It's Friday. We're good.
It's Friday still.
It's good. We're getting there. We're getting there. All right, Vito, if you want to go over the treasurer's report quick, and then we'll let Mr. Pretto speak.
I have to find it and pull it up. If you give me a second. Did you make me host
I can make you host. Can
Already
I?
or
did.
co-host? It's fine,
Yeah.
just so I can share my screen.
I
You
already
are.
did to both you, Janine, and Bill.
Thank you, Tamara.
Thanks, Tamara. All right, well, Vito was getting a share screen. Everybody have any questions? Or anything going on that they need answers to?
Mr. Perdo, could I ask you a question about some of the PTAs having an issue getting in to do our audit for our PTAs? Because some of them have having issues getting into the building. So I don't know if, you, Bill, somebody could talk to the principal and letting us, because is this going to be like a second year that we haven't all done audits because of last year? So we kind of have to catch up. So if somebody could ask the principals or let them know that can we just get in there to do that for our boards, that would be really, really awesome.
The principals are aware. It's been, communicated centrally that in order to, locate, PTA specific materials, specifically related to the banking and everything, like they do have the ability to arrange to do that with the principals. So, we have 40 principals. So if there's any one that is, not, letting, and I've addressed this in writing and in meetings before. So
Okay.
if there are any principals who are not letting the PTA get access to their banking materials that are on site, let me know. Tell me the name. I will have that conversation.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Pretto. All right, Vito, do you want to just go quickly?
Yep, it'll be real quick. 2912 was the starting, 24 cents in interest, no expenses. We end up with 291237. Here's the bank account attached, matches up. And this was sent out to everybody yesterday.
Okay.
So that is it. Technically, we're supposed to do a budget for next year. I would move that we let the incoming President's Council take that over and do that in September.
Right, we can we can discuss at the June meeting. That's fine.
Yes.
Perfect. All right, I just need a show of hands, ladies and gents, of approval for the treasurer's report. Don't all answer at once.
I see hands.
I see hands. Excellent. Wonderful. Perfect. Thank you. All right, before I go any further, Mr. Pretto, the floor is yours.
Thank you. It's good to see everybody. I'm sorry I did not get to meet with you last month. I just want to just a couple of announcements. I made some announcements at the CEC meeting on Wednesday night, but specific to parents, one thing that I wanted to make sure that I communicated is that I have set some dates for parent listening sessions and student listening sessions. They're called mini charrettes. It's essentially like a small group conversations amongst parents and the leadership, facilitated by the district and some folks from the Office of School Design. The parent date is going to be June 10th. It's a Thursday, and we're going to be doing it at 4 p.m. It's going to be done via Zoom, and the topic is going to specifically be about returning to school in the fall. Kind of what people need beyond 5 days a week. I know everybody. I know that we think when we think of school, we never thought of it as in the number of days a week until this year. But so assuming 5 days a week is something that we want, we want to get some parent feedback around the role of technology, the things that remote families feel like they need in place in order to feel safe. The impact of the pandemic on their child's social emotional development, and as well as their academic development, and get some more anecdotal information about that. I am tasking all the principals to have at least one parent representative from their school. So I'm ensuring that we have, voice from every single school. And moving forward, I see it as an opportunity to have a structure for, regular communication with families in the district, either on like a quarterly basis or a monthly. I don't know. We can figure it out in terms of what is feasible, what parents are kind of up for. And what we're able to do in terms of like how the needs in the district are emerging. But I definitely do feel very strongly that an additional structure that exists to be able to communicate and have two-way dialogue with families from all the schools in the district is just really important for me. So that I hope to see this be a structure that can be carried on into the next year and beyond. And I'm doing the same thing with students. I'll be doing a similar structure with students on June 8th. It's the Brooklyn Day. We call it the Chancellor's Conference Day in the rest of the city, but I understand that us in Brooklyn now still call it Brooklyn Day. So on Brooklyn Day, I'm gonna have the student version of this, and so same thing. We're gonna be asking principals to identify at least one child from every school to engage in a similar conversation to get us some feedback. I think that the kids bring the best perspective, honestly. So I just wanted to announce that. And I am also going to be reaching out. I was intending to do it today, but I got a little tied up. So Monday, most likely, Sylvia from my office is going to be sending out outreach to definitely all of the folks who were on the district equity committee, as well as anybody else who's interested in like getting an update on it. Because I definitely feel it's important to provide folks with an update. It was asked for at the last CC meeting, and I haven't been able to kind of communicate widely, what we've like, not only what we've done, but also, what the longer vision is for and what the action steps we've taken so far, how those fit into the larger vision. So, and I feel like everyone frankly like deserves to hear. So I'm going to be setting up that date and time in the next couple of weeks. And I'm hoping that the same time that it was held before would be okay. I understand that it was on like a Wednesday at 3 p.m., but I'm going to include in that invite for Sylvia to just kind of get feedback on even if the time still works or if we need to do some kind of adjustment. But I definitely am going to, communicate around, kind of what equity planning in the district and on the school level is going to look like moving forward, and what my approach is regarding, all stakeholders, including school leaders, school staff, and parents. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. That, and I think those are kind of the big things that are like that I needed to touch on. And and then one more thing. We've had some outreach regarding the impact of the lottery system of enrollment for middle schools, and our office and some principals have gotten outreach around the superintendent programs and honors programs and gifted and talented programs and whatnot. So I will be meeting with the leadership with the principals to have a kind of in-depth conversation around the different kind of features of what these programs are have been historically, and what the implications are for what historically what these programs have been in the district, what it means moving forward, considering the way that the enrollment pattern kind of did some kind of interruption, I guess is the best way to put it, to the flow of how these programs have operated in the past. So I'm definitely taking this opportunity to kind of do get a baseline of what these programs meant in terms of class offerings, in terms of assessments, in terms of how children got into them, and what kinds of opportunities can continue to be provided to children as we move forward, no matter what label or whatever is on the program or on the approach to providing opportunities to children that are appropriate and challenging for them.
All right, thank you. Does anybody have any questions for the superintendent? Everybody's all quiet. Look at that, all good. I have one question, real quick.
Shoot.
At the CPAC meeting last week, it was brought up by Deputy Chancellor Adrian Austin that the state said that as of May 27th, after May 27th, we're no longer allowed to have virtual meetings.
Yeah, I heard a similar thing. And Vito, that came up in one of
I
our
got it.
conversations,
She's my
right?
source, so I got it from Janine.
Got it. Bill, I don't know if we can find out, like, it's news to us, like, you know,
Okay,
but
that's what yeah.
but don't like shout me out, because that might mean that I didn't read something I was supposed to read. But but I read everything, and I'm pretty sure that I haven't seen that.
All right,
One I actually rewatched the video for that.
yeah, and
And I think Dr. Jackie said how she believed the waiver extended into October 31st of this year, 2021. So I know Sadie, the person that's
right, so
sorry.
that waiver extended even more? Okay,
So I believe that Dr. Jackie said that it was extended into
Okay.
October 31st of this year.
okay.
And then I know Sadie, that's actually supposed to be the that took over for Yolanda. She said that they're looking into it and they're going to be contacting
Okay,
the state, and they're going to make her and Adrian, and they're going to make sure and they notify us when they get more information regarding that.
all right, very good. Okay, all right. And thank you, Tamara, thanks. All right,
No
any other
problem.
questions? Yes. Anybody else have any questions? No? Good. All right, thank you, Mr. Prato.
My pleasure.
All right, Mr. Chin, what is it that we need to do forward? Is there anything we need to know?
Well, I usually do the superintendent's report in the past. So you just said anything.
Oh, Bill, did I listen? If you
No,
if
in
you
the
want to do the
past-
superintendent's report,
No, in the
That's
past, the
fine.
superintendent didn't attend the meeting because it was on site somewhere. So I
Yeah.
went to most of those meetings,
Exactly.
gave the
Gotcha.
superintendent's report. But since it's easy for you to zoom in and zoom out, you graced us with your appearance.
Exactly.
oh, listen. All right, we'll talk after, Bill. I'm kidding. I'm just messing around.
All right, moving on. Next thing is, so we've covered elections, we've covered audits. The financial, end of year financial is due to Bill Chin by, Vito, remind me?
June 30th?
June
Yeah.
30th, but you should enter it into the
Okay,
LIC system.
As a practical matter, when's the last day of school?
yeah,
Yeah,
So we
Right.
need to
we'll be
get it to,
reminding you before then.
right, okay. Anybody else has any questions or concerns, issues with graduations or fundraising, anything?
I did mention this at our meeting. I was at MCU Park in Coney Island,
Okay,
and effective May 19th, there are no longer going to be testing requirements for
okay,
MCU Park. That's a great thing. I'm hoping that that's other venues as well, but
Yeah.
that would be McKinley and Diker. If they were worried about that, I was worried about it. I was trying to set something up, but now
Okay.
it's a moot point because we don't need to do that.
okay. All right. What else? Welcome, Anna. Is that Anna? Yeah, Anna. Trying to think. Listen, anybody else, if nobody else has any other concerns, I mean, we seem to be doing okay. I mean, it's May, so we're doing all right so far. And it seems for the majority of us have PTAs looking to run next year as well. Like you have full staff looking to go, which is great. There are some of us that do not. 104, we only have 2 people so far out of 6. So hopefully by the 27th, we'll have more that will step up. I know Vito has an issue at 187. Is there anybody else that has an issue about not running? Nobody wants it? Yeah,
Well, I do know that
What?
Face said that as long as you have like one person,
Correct.
Yes.
I mean, at this
Right.
point,
It's still in-
that's all we're trying to do, trying to get
Exactly.
like one person to
Right.
set it up for next year, and then we'll figure it out in September if you don't have a full
Right.
board.
Right, but I think I'm just making, some people might don't even have that one. That's what I'm,
Just try to get that one for whatever position that person may want. As long as you
Right.
have one executive board member, you will not cease to function. You're still operative, and then you have expedited election come September.
All right, Karen, what do you have so far? Do you have others besides that position? She's not, okay, hold on. Oh, if you're just missing that, that's not a problem. As long as you have a president and a treasurer, you're okay.
Or secretary.
And well, she doesn't have a secretary. She doesn't have a corresponding.
Okay.
Hi, guys. Sorry, I'm
That's okay.
masked because I'm at my son's swim session and I might go
Oh,
in
I
and
remember
out.
those days.
But
Yeah,
that's why I was typing.
that's okay.
But so there's I have my vice president and myself as president. We're going to be running as a slate for co-president, and then I have our treasurer. So we're just losing a corresponding secretary. That's all.
Oh, that's not bad. Okay. And you have in your bylaws to have to have codes, right?
Yeah, we just updated the bylaws.
Perfect. Even better. Excellent. Okay. All right. Tamara, Vito, anything else? Because everybody's very quiet because all these people on here know what they're doing. So it's like,
Like I would like to ask, but Bill,
Sure.
I've actually reached out to the
Who?
parent coordinator at Pershing
right,
Mhm.
because their PTA hasn't been existing this year at all.
right.
And I haven't heard back from her in like a week. So do I reach out to you to find out?
Yeah, I'll find out. I'll make a note of it.
All right.
Because I know I'm helping with Pershing and Janine was doing
Right.
Montauk.
I'm
So
doing
we could,
Yeah,
Montauk.
those are the
yeah,
two.
Those are two. Yeah.
that are left.
Mhm.
Right. I think it's everybody. All right. Well, I think this is the shortest meeting on record, people. It's 3:30 and we're done.
You know, I feel like we've been through the hell this entire year.
Exactly.
That now that we're at this point, that are just like
Like, what up? I know.
we survived it.
Oh, yeah. It's great.
Mhm.
104 is going ahead with graduation. We're having it at the Army base, which is nice.
Mm.
So, you know, which is good. You know, we just got to get through what is it, with the next testing round, whatever that shall be. Well,
They're on the Army base that have the facilities, it outdoors?
yes.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's we trust me. Miss Gordon is not doing anything that's not by the book or.
Yeah, it's nice that you were able to get the Army base because
Yeah.
104 always was related to the Army, and in the
It's
past,
nice.
that's why it was still a K-8 school when everybody else
Yes.
went away from K-8 because the Army
Mhm.
students
Right.
moves around too much, so don't want to upend them.
Exactly. So
We're still waiting on permits for the park.
really,
Yep.
huh?
I mean, realistically speaking, we don't even know how many students actually want to show up to graduation because there are a whole bunch of them that really don't care. So,
Really?
you know, we have like 100 and something, 120 something eighth graders. If there aren't a lot of kids that want to do it, we could do something small in our schoolyard.
Right. I was just gonna
There's
say, don't you have?
construction
You have
going on,
You got
but
a
we
small
have
schoolyard.
ample space for it, but
yeah, but you
One
have.
of you sent home
There you go.
a survey to see how
Yes,
many
that's
kids.
what our principal's doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are a lot of kids that are just so over it and they haven't
Yeah.
been in school for the last year and a half. And their whole it's not even the parents, it's the kids. They're just like, I don't just give me my diploma. I just want to go to high school. It's almost over.
Oh yeah. No, I listen. My own son. He's he's like I'm grateful that he's in 5 days a week, which is awesome. Except now he's like, what's the point? There's nothing fun. There's nothing to look forward to. Why am I there?
A lot of these kids are over it.
They are. And
They've
I feel
resigned
my heart,
themselves to it
my
is
heart
what it
breaks
is.
for them. You know, us as adults is one thing. We can get over it. We can go, oh, okay, all right, it'll get better. But you know, it's certain things they look forward to.
And it's funny because I feel like as adults, we emote more for the kids because
Yeah.
I was so upset when the dance was canceled and the trip was canceled. But then after speaking to some of these kids, they were like, we weren't going anyway. Like,
Right.
like, don't be upset for us. Don't cry. We're fine.
Well, that's it. We have 150. We have 157 graduates. If half of them, and that's being half of them, took their picture for the yearbook is amazing. It's like, really?
Yeah.
It's
We had,
like,
we had a lot. We had a lot of kids come in.
that's
For,
good.
we were able to get, but then there were other kids that were like, nope,
I know. It's
don't care.
It's like, pulling teeth, but
And a lot of these kids, our school's pre-K to 8. So a lot of these kids have been with each other since
Exactly.
pre-K. And the parents are like, they've been together for so long and they want to, but then you talk to the kids and the kids are like, yeah, I've been with this kid, since pre-K and I don't want to see them anymore. So it's not always as sad as I feel that it is. Some of these kids really just.
No, I know.
You're done.
I brought up the fact about having autograph books signed, and my principal's like, "A what now? You want what?" I'm like, "All right, maybe I am old fashioned. Okay, that's fine." But
yeah, they're just like whatever.
Exactly, but
because they're seeing their friends outside of school. They're remote all day long, and they're hanging out. I see them at the park. I see them at the 8th Street. So they're not really missing out on anything because they get to talk to them. You can't do anything in school.
Oh, I know. It's like it's
Yeah.
not nice, but hopefully
a lot of them really just don't care.
Exactly. Hopefully by September things will change.
Hopefully.
We'll see. I know the other issue was, some parents were concerned, those in high school, that hopefully in September they're not going into a classroom for another computer class, just on a computer. But who knows? Hopefully that will change too. The CEC meeting the other night was lengthy, but it was good. The arts, I love the arts part of it. The kids' performances were just awesome. For anybody who hadn't seen it or whatnot, please check it out online. It is phenomenal. Kudos to our kids in District 20. They do quite well. They are talented in their own right.
Yeah.
And anybody's got anything to say? Nobody?
I have a question.
Oh, Christian. Hi, Christian. Karen, what's the question? Go ahead. Whose question? Who's
I have a question.
Sure.
It's Karen.
Hi,
Karen
Karen.
Rizak.
Okay. Yeah, what's up?
So I have a question. If anybody has any information about the Summer Rising information, the program. I have a lot of parents asking questions and there's not a lot of answers to be had. I contacted our program that is running it for our school, and I asked them if they would come on for an information session for our parents. And instead they said they were going to make a video to kind of answer questions, but I don't think parents fully understand that they're expecting anyone enrolled to be there from 8 to 6 every day.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. See, I didn't even know that.
It's elementary. Middle school is from 8 to 4.
Oh, okay. Bill or Mr. Prato, anybody have any insight on the Summer Rising?
So what do you mean by insight?
I guess, Karen, what do you want? Like more of what the details are or where it's at?
No, so I don't think parents are fully informed that they have, that they're gonna,
That there's an
their
option.
children's expected to be there for 10 hours a day, that they can't take them out earlier.
Oh, that I don't.
That
So
was what I got from the program that's running it out of our school, BCA.
Oh, okay.
the CBO told
Yeah.
you that the children were expected and were mandated to stay in the program for 10 hours?
Yeah.
Yes, because that's their attendance policy.
Where is this?
My
What's
school
your
is
school?
PS 205.
205. Okay.
PS 205.
Miss Mandel's your principal?
And the CBO is, yes. And the CBO is BCA, Brooklyn Chinese Association.
Got it. Okay. I'm going to reach out to your principal and just get some clarity on this.
Okay, because I don't even know if, like, she even knows. I spoke with the director at BCA today because I had questions myself.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be honest with you. I don't think that it's realistic to expect every child to. I just don't think that's a realistic ask. So I'll reach out to the principal and see what's going on in terms of the communication to families around like the expectation or requirement for them to be enrolled for all day or whatever. That's not
Also,
a problem.
Mr. Preto, also, they mentioned a remote option and then that they're kind of backpedaling on that as well. I would like a remote option for kids who need it, who want it.
They haven't made any kind of final decision about the remote option. I know that a remote option was being communicated and floated around in the media. They haven't spoken, I haven't been like spoken to directly about that, but I know that they were floating the idea, especially for children who were the mandated children who had to attend summer school in order to be promoted. But we haven't had there hasn't been any final communication on the remote option. So I hear you. I hear you. So I'm awaiting the same information.
I also just wanted to add with the Summer Rising, they give you an option when you apply, because I applied for my son. If you need any special help, like if you have an IEP, if you have a para and stuff like that. And my vice president, her daughter has a para, a one-to-one para, and they said, oh, we can't provide a para for your child. But yet the application gave you the option to ask for one.
Can you say that one more time? That children with IEP,
Children with an
P.
IEP and a one-to-one para, the application process, they asked you to select like an option if you needed a one-to-one para. And then when she spoke to them, they said, oh, we're not able to provide a para for the child.
Gotcha. So I don't know about that. I know that this year, again, like summer school is being, I'm sorry, I'm doing two things at once. This year's summer school is being operated completely differently than ever before. So in previous years, if a child was mandated for summer school, and that's the reason why they were attending, and they were attending from 8 to 12 to complete the academic program that the school was offering, and they were mandated to have an IEP, a paraprofessional for 12-month service, then the answer was yes, of course. But typically, paraprofessional service on an IEP is a 10-month service. Like, it's not included in the special ed program. So in order for that to be offered, the 12-month service of the paraprofessional would have to be specified on the IEP. That's typically the case. Now, do schools not like provide and typically, and I don't say this to be over generalistic, so please don't take this the wrong way, but typically children who have one-to-one paras frequently will have some sort of modified promotional criteria as well attached, and frequently we don't see a lot of instances where children are being mandated for summer school in these cases. It's not something that we typically see. It exists, it happens, but it's not like a typical instance. I say all that to say, this year, summer school is a combination of being provided by the school and the CBO. So the CBO is not, required. They are not required to provide a child with an IEP because the IEP is not issued by the CBO. The CBO is providing like an enrichment kind of camp thing. Yeah. So like if they're going to camp, like they don't have to have it, their parent doesn't go with them to summer camp or whatever. Same idea.
So they said if the school would provide the para till noon, that student can stay till noon, but then the parent would have to pick them up at noon, which then kind of is an exception to the rule that you can't pick them up earlier.
No, if the school, and I would want to look at the individual cases. Like, I think we could have a general conversation about how this thing would happen, but this would definitely have to be looked at a case by case basis. But long story short, the para service would end with the academic day, and the CBO portion would continue without the para. If the child had a para mandated for 12-month services, but the child would not have the para at the CBO during camp.
Yeah, and this child particular cannot be without a para.
Now it's different. I would assume that the definition of can't have the para is 12-month services. So in that case, the children who have 12-month IEP programs, they are programmed automatically into summer school, through the special ed office. That's essentially a managed program, for the 12-month service, and the para comes with.
So my main thing is all of these questions. I know there's going to be other parents that are going to have the same concerns, and I just wanted to put together some kind of information session to get this information out to those parents.
Okay.
because I feel like there's no answers. There's no, way to communicate this. Like the parents are in the dark.
I hear you. I hear you. And, frankly, I hear you 100%. I completely understand. And I think the only explanation that I can give for why there's so many unanswered questions right now is, I was actually sharing this with some parents on a previous call. The summer school being done differently than it has been in the past is a tremendously large undertaking. In normal years, there's an entire infrastructure that plans and coordinates summer school of approximately 200,000 students citywide every year. Putting that in perspective of any school district, that is the second largest school district in the United States after the New York City Department of Education. So like summer school in a normal year, when we have predictable numbers of students based on promotion and doubt process and students with 12-month IEPs, produces like a ballpark number of children that we have to plan for in order to staff, know the number of buildings we need, the busing, food service, all that stuff, right? This year we have an unknown number of students because all children have been welcomed into summer school. So it's really difficult to for the existing summer school infrastructure to plan for like a kind of like an unknown number of students. But the chancellor's made it very clear that that summer school is open and to be offered for all children who want it. And I'm really kind of advocating for parents to sign up for it, because I think, especially after this year, I agree with the chancellor that it's a great opportunity on a variety of levels. One, just to get reoriented with school, two, to get like access to continued academic programming, and three, the community school model is a really good model. Like it's a great opportunity for children to be, the combination of the school and the CBO operating a day is it's a good one for children who could really benefit from access to those resources. And this year, I think that there's more than there ever have been. So that's it's kind of like my pitch for summer school. And so from those perspectives, I think it's really important. But the answer to why are so many of these questions unanswered, because of the new structure that they're putting together, it has raised a lot of questions that the DOE is working on answering, so that when we provide the answers, they're kind of final answers, and we're not giving an answer that we then need to change next week.
Oh yeah. Thanks for
I'm
that.
I'm not sure if you've run into that once or twice this year, but like, I know that is the intention and some of the reasons behind why it's taking a little bit longer to get answers. And frankly, in past summer school, there were no answers. Everyone knew what happened in summer school. Like summer school was a thing that we knew. Now, just like everything else has been, it's a new thing that's raising questions from a lot of families. So I appreciate your patience. I understand the frustration, and I really do. But I know that they're working really hard on it, and I will make sure that you get the information as soon as available.
Thank you, Mr. Prado.
No problem.
For those who have joined, if you just put your name in the chat so we can count you for attendance. And Christian, you have anything from FACE for us?
I was just listening to the conversation, and okay. I think Superintendent Preto did a really good job answering that question. So I appreciate that. Any other questions come up, I'll gladly answer them.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have to run. I've got another meeting that I'm 10 minutes late to. So I want to tell everybody, have a great afternoon. It's good to see you all. And I hope to see you next month. Christian, how you doing? Good to see you.
We're tag teaming.
Take care, everybody.
You too. Thank you. All right. Okay.
Christian, yes, I had a question for Christian. I'm glad that she's here. Tamara's helping us with this. She's been helping us with a lot of issues that we've encountered with our administration.
Right.
And back also, I'm glad Bill is here because back when in the beginning of the pandemic, we were told, PTAs, that we had to give our checking book. We had to have it inside the school. Like we couldn't have the checkbook cannot leave the building, right?
Right, correct.
So,
yeah.
Our then treasurer gave the checkbook to our parent coordinator. Our parent coordinator said she was going to have it locked by her drawer. So she was going to have it locked up, which we thought was great because it's very important for the checkbook to be locked.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
But our vice president went in Wednesday because we're organizing Teachers and Staff Appreciation Week.
Oh, okay.
And she asked the treasurer for the check. I mean, she asked the coordinator for
Right.
the checkbook, and she said she didn't have it. But she never notified us that she was going to move the checkbook from where it was, which was locked up by her desk. So the checkbook ended up inside our PTA room that the lock doesn't work, that we share with CFL because the principal last year asked us if we can share the room, and we were hesitant, but it was hard. She pretty much pressured us to share our room, which we were uncomfortable because we have a lot of inventory there, and there's stuff that's gone missing. And on top of that, the checkbook they never addressed to us that the checkbook was going to be moved into the PTA room in a closet that's not even locked, that doesn't have a key.
Okay.
What's the CFL? Is that the after-school program?
Yes, the after-school program. So, that CFL, the reason we had issues with sharing the room is because CFL sometimes is there till 9 p.m., 10 p.m., and they go in and out. And it was a issue because we sometimes have money locked up in the PTA room because that's the way our parent coordinator would tell us that we needed to have the room in the closet locked up. And we addressed that, and they still told us that that we needed to share the room because they didn't have another room, which CFL already had a room. They just wanted to give them another office space. But it has been very inconvenient, and I don't know how to go about this.
Okay. Do you know if the CFL had access to the school during this time frame?
No,
Okay.
I'm not sure, Bill. I think
That's what I gotta check
yeah.
first also.
I think they have because they still have after-school programs in our school. So they probably did have. And now the lock to our PTA room, like when our vice president went in there, she sent me a picture, and the PTA room is not the way we left it. It's everything is scattered all over. Another thing, the lock to our PTA room doesn't work.
Okay, I will look into that.
Yeah, and there's a lot of stuff missing too. Like even like we left cases of water. That's all gone.
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have Anna? It's Janine. Do you have in your PTA room that you have now presently? Do you have a safe in your room?
We have a safe inside the closet that we have locked up.
All right.
But then we spoke to we had spoken to FACE last year, and they told us that the best way was to give the money to our principal for her to keep it in her safe, just to be on the safe side, which that happened towards the end. It was like a month before the pandemic, and then the pandemic happened. Right. But now the issue is about the checkbook. Like we gave it to the administration to put in a safe place, and they never notified us. So now I have to look through the checkbook to make sure that everything is there. So it just puts a lot of it's concerning to me because this endangers like the executive board. Like we don't want to put to blame, like it's all our responsibility. And we trusted that the administration would do the right thing. And I feel like we never received an email from them to let us know that they were going to move the checkbook. And we never agreed for them to move it into the PTA room because we know that the PTA room is not right now. We haven't even been in the PTA room for so long.
Janine?
Yeah, Vito, what's up?
So I want to make two comments. Did you do an audit, like just a quick, did you check all of the statements to make sure there are no unauthorized checks?
We haven't. We're gonna do the audit after we do the PTA elections.
So this is not really an audit, just take the statements, the bank
yeah.
statements.
Yes, I checked. I went into when she told me that this happened on Wednesday. I checked to see that no one had done any like fraudulent, like try to cash me checks or anything like that. Everything is good, but now I'm concerned about, just not being notified like over a year and not being told.
All right.
I mean,
Okay.
that's a bigger issue, but I did want to share what happened at 187, not in the PTA, but the school itself. They were victim of a crime where I think everyone had checks sent out because of last year's trips and stuff were canceled, and then the school sent out refund money. And some enterprising individual who got a check made fraudulent copies, and they cashed tens of thousands of dollars in fraudulent money, and that money went all over the world. There's no way we're getting it back. The school got their money back, but to track these individuals down is next to impossible. So if it could happen to the school, it could certainly happen to an individual PTA, and that's why it's really important to even go on electronically and see electronically if a check clears that you don't recognize, automatically call the bank and put a stop to it and freeze the account.
Yes, because we haven't written any checks because we had a spending freeze. Like that was our executive board decision. We weren't going to do any spending because we haven't been doing any fundraising. Now we're doing teachers and staff appreciation. That was already put down in our budget, so that's why we're doing that event. And it was the first time we thought they had it in their safe. So as soon as the vice president went to get the checkbook, she went and asked the coordinator, and the coordinator said, "Oh, I don't have it here."
And where did the parent coordinator say it is now?
She said it's in the PTA room, and then the vice president went, and it was not even in a locked place, which it has to be in a locked up place. That's the whole thing.
Oh yeah.
Especially that they forced us to share the room when we were all uncomfortable with it.
Right.
But our principal is very everyone's intimidated by her. So it's almost like we cannot say no because then we feel like we're going to get targeted.
Then moving forward, and I mean this is going to sound really I would, if you can't find that checkbook, then it's missing. The checkbook is not, most likely at this point, if it's been a year, it's not going to turn up. So
well, they found the checkbook was found in the PTA room. Yes, they
found it.
Yes, it's in the PTA room, but it was not locked up. That's the whole issue. That wasn't.
So you're just worried about a best practice, and you kind of offended that they didn't notify you,
right?
And I would say
it's not even offended. It's going against transfer regulations.
Yeah.
The checkbook is supposed to be locked up. I'm not offended. I'm upset that they never notified us and they went against transfer regulations.
If I were you, once now you've had the checkbook in your possession, I mean, yes, it's uncomfortable feeling sharing a room with somebody else. I understand that. But to keep you from getting in trouble yourselves, I would take the checkbook, put it in the safe, get a master lock that door, ask the custodian if he can help you put some sort of a lock on it, and you guys keep the keys somewhere outside of the room. Not.
Okay, and then with everything else, like the merchandise missing and
the merchandise missing, unless you have a full list of what you have and you can prove that it was. I mean, yes, the water, yes. It's a nuisance. It's,
we were raffling. Security, what's it called? A ring security system, and that we can't find it anymore. It's not there.
Wow, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. It's not just water. It's like, that's what I'm trying to say. It goes as small as water to bigger things. And, the room that is shared with, the people that we share it with are people that are there late at night. And we were there at an event, and they're high school students that go in and out, and it's like in and out. We have a bathroom in our PTA room as well. So it's like, it's constant.
Do you have a list of missing items?
Yeah.
Yes, we're doing that now.
Christian, are you there still?
Yeah, I'm here and I'm taking notes.
Christian, is there something where are you self-insured? Is the school insured? If they make a police report, could they get reimbursed through the school
I am not
insurance?
sure, but I'm going to follow up on that.
Okay.
So we will talk offline,
Yes.
just so I can get that list and
Yeah.
talk about best practices and things like that, because
That's-
this is really important. So
Yeah.
we'll definitely have a conversation offline.
All right.
Thank you, Christian.
Thank you,
Anna.
Christian.
Thank you, Janine.
You're welcome. No, thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah. And Anna, just keep us in the loop. Let us know, if it's an email, a text, whatever, just let us know what's going on.
Yes.
That's why
Did
we
you
know.
have any of the receipts for you
Yeah.
purchasing the
I
ring?
was gonna say, do you have that?
events, or some, the water
Well-
receipts and everything?
Luckily, Bill, all the things that we raffle, we asked for donations. So that was a donation.
Hmm.
But I'm just saying that it's things.
Yeah.
Bill, you lost it, yes.
Yes,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
when the parents were, they paid for a raffling ticket, and now we have to tell them that we don't have it anymore. So now we have.
No,
So
no.
that's just, and we were in there during the pandemic, and we left it in there, and so I found all this out on Wednesday when
Right,
the
okay.
vice president went to look for their checkbook,
All
and
right.
it's just
Okay,
okay.
All right. I think for now, let's just table it and just get in touch with Christian, and I know
Yeah.
Tamara's been helping you, and then we'll just take it from there and hopefully, come to some sort of solution that works for in everybody's favor.
Yeah, Anna, can you just send me an email with all the information so I can, escalate that as soon as possible? Thank you.
Right, I definitely will. And the vice president was going to write an email, but she feels very uncomfortable because, again, it's
Okay.
almost like a retaliation.
All right.
We all fear it, but I feel like it's important because we cannot let our PTAs to be treated in this way by
No.
administrations. I think that's why it's so important for administrations to be trained the right way to work collaboratively with
Right.
PTAs because we do so much work. And
Right.
it's so unfair.
No, of course. No, it's not right. No, that's just disrespectful in all accounts. All right, we will, yeah.
Well, thank you all. Thank you all
You're
for
welcome.
listening.
Anytime, Anna. That's
Thank
fine.
you for helping.
Are you welcome? Is there anybody else has any other problems? Ruby, how are things over there at 506? She on? No? Okay.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you? How's it going, darling? What's going
Good. Well, I didn't have a PTA meeting in April. Okay.
on? Okay.
There was no PTA. I have a meeting with the principal on Tuesday to see what's going on because I'm not in the building. I have not gone to the building for more than a year. So what I
Okay.
do, it's everything at home. But I really don't know what's going on inside there.
Why wasn't there a meeting in April? What happened?
It sounds like my principal was very busy to help me to the meeting, because everything she controls, not me.
Wait a minute. The principal shouldn't be controlling any. Wait a minute. Hold it. Go
But
back.
that is something that she's been doing since the beginning. I mean, she's the one who sends the links. Like I told you before, I don't have no email from no parents, no anything at all. So it's still happening,
Okay.
I mean, we're about to end of the year, really, and I'm so happy I'm about to end of the year because it's like there's no way. It's like Anna said, it's so hard, really. Somebody should just train or parent coordinators or just tell the principal what are our rules, what are our laws, because it's so hard, really, it's so hard. And then you don't want to get them in the bad side. Seriously,
No.
I don't want to have that because it's so hard, like to just go to them and they're always like shutting the doors for you when you want to do something good for the school. Like it's frustrating for us also because we home and there's like not much help. Like really, we didn't do much this year. And I mean, it's going to be the end of the year. I don't know when we're going to have elections because I need to talk to her first. I don't know what is in her mind, but I don't know what's going on with her. So it's like she took control of 5th grade graduation. She did everything herself. And, I'm not going to even get involved. It's okay. She wants to do it. It's fine.
All right, Ruby, do me a favor. Put your email into the chat so that we can get Christian from FACE in on this.
Janine, I also want to know that
what's up?
Ruby, Ruby's from 506 and we share the same building.
Right.
I know we have a lot of the same issues.
Okay. do you both have the same parent coordinator?
No,
No.
different parent coordinators, but
Okay,
it seems like they both have the same idea, because it seems like our parent coordinator tells their parent coordinator, since they don't have, they've been changing parent coordinators, like the parent coordinators go in and out of Ruby's
Yes,
school.
they never
So-
last for more than 1 year, really. I don't know
Okay.
what's going on.
Yeah,
All
so
right, Anna, who's your-
Tiltia, parent coordinator, is the one that tells, like, trains
Right.
them, which she shouldn't be training anyone, because she doesn't know herself how to
Exactly.
work with the PTA.
Anna, who's your parent coordinator right now?
My parent coordinator is Miss Tilcia Sola.
Okay, who's Betty Wren? Who is that?
Betty Wren, we have two parent coordinators.
Oh,
Tilcia Sola and Betty Wren, which is Chinese.
okay,
Yeah.
got it.
Mhm.
And Ruby, who's your parent coordinator?
Susan Wen.
Susan Wang. Okay, got it. All right, okay.
Yeah, but it's like, it's kind of hard really, because she could say something, but she has to follow what the principal says also. So it's like, I really don't have good communication with my parent coordinator since we were doing the budget report, because she wanted to put whatever she wanted, not what I had in my paper. So it was like it was hard, really. It was so hard at the beginning of the year. So I am not dealing with her whenever I have to. I just go straight to the principal, really.
Okay, all right. Yeah, we have to have a side conversation. Yeah, we have to. Vito, are you on still? Vito?
I am.
All right.
I don't want to be on camera while I'm eating.
These are the two schools that I brought up like in January that
remember,
were having all the issues. Yeah.
Right, exactly. And I thought by now everything was somewhat at some sort of a
It keeps getting worse. Like
exactly. Thank
we
you.
get to a
Tamara. I was hoping
resolution.
you'd come to some, yeah.
We get to some kind of resolution where we think,
Right, exactly.
everything, and then something else happens to escalate it, and then yeah.
All right.
It really needs to be an offline conversation
Yes, let's do,
between
yeah.
Bill Chin, the superintendent's office, and then the involved parties.
Yes, Christian, yes, Christian, yes, we can definitely schedule a meeting. Yes, I will get, yeah.
Yeah, I could really relate to Anna. I understand the way she's sharing the office is
Right.
wide open. Everybody could go in and out, because I
Okay.
have seen it. We like very close. I'm like next door to her. It's in the gym. Our office is in the gym. So, but I know CFO has a lot of programs during the night, and they actually rent it for some soccer things. They go and play. I really don't, but they stay there very late. So I understand Anna's issues, and sharing with someone else is not easy. They don't have no privacy at all.
All right, we're gonna set up a meeting with you guys and Christian, and we're gonna go through this together. Because this is,
I have a question, and then
Sure.
Anna brought this up at the beginning
ahead.
when
What's up?
Superintendent Preto was here.
yeah, go ahead.
I think it was the first meeting we had of the year.
Right.
And she had asked, was he planning on doing any type of like a meeting or whatever for administration to
Right.
like teach them what their roles are and are not in regards to the PTA?
Right.
Because even out of this district, I have so many friends on PTAs that complain about the same thing. Principals taking over their budgets, principals taking over their meetings. And I'm like, do they know what they're allowed and not allowed to do?
I think some principals need a re-education.
Yeah.
I mean, the sole purpose, I mean, and Bill can correct me if I'm wrong, the sole purpose of a parent coordinator was to be the link between the parents and the principal. The parent coordinator is supposed to guide, they're supposed to be up on what's going on and guide the PTAs. That's the whole idea. Not run them, not take over, not take their checkbooks, not
It's
Um,
guide them.
independent. It's
Thank you.
independent.
Principals shouldn't be, it's the same as one of us going in and say, you know what? I want to see your budget. I want to see your money. That's not how.
You know what? On top of that,
Yeah.
my principal, Mr. Kirk, he
Yeah.
is busy all the time,
Right.
constantly helping other people.
Exactly.
The last thing that he has time for is
Right.
coming into the PTA office and telling us what to do.
Right. Exactly.
I mean, he always knows what's going on, but he has never interfered.
No. And the
When he
majority
needs
of them-
something, he asks us. He never tells us, you're doing this. Can you help us out? He's always been so respectful and kind.
Right. The
So
majority.
I don't understand why these principals have all of this time to expend on the PTA when
Right.
there's a lot going on right now with our kids. Like,
But
no, I don't
Janine, I'm starting to wonder, is this happening more in like brown communities? Because I feel like sometimes, you know, from what I've heard, like the parent coordinator,
Yeah.
the way she talks about our families, like, you know, to them, we're ignorant, we don't know any better, we don't know how to do things. We always say yes. We don't really need the vote of the parents because the parents don't even ask questions. Is that something I'm interested to know if this is something that's happening mainly in immigrant communities and brown communities, because our school is mainly a immigrant. It's in Sunset
Right.
Park. And, you know, I think also that they need better training and more implicit bias training on how to work with families, because our district is the most diverse
Yeah, right.
district, and you know, it's constantly changing, and they cannot feel that just because we're parents we don't know any better. Like, we
Right.
do know how to do things.
Yeah.
I've always advocated for every single one of my executive board members to get
Mhm.
training. I think it's so important. Our time is so precious that we should take something from this journey. And
Right.
that's knowledge, because no one can ever take what you've learned through this experience. It's a beautiful experience, and it shouldn't be made so hard on us.
I agree.
Ruby, can I
Yeah.
ask you a question, Ruby? Do you have your PTA DOE email set up?
Nope.
Okay. Christian, maybe we could help them do that. So
And
that they,
really, I feel like it's all the end of the year. Like, it's May and
But are you
June.
going right? But even though it's the end of the year, Ruby, are
You
you
still
running
need
next
it.
year? Yeah, you still need. Are you running next year? What are you doing?
I really don't know. I have to,
Okay.
if I have parents, like, seriously, it was just so hard to bring even parents to my meeting. Like, I had like 3 or 4 parents, and just
Okay.
counting the principal and coordinated, it was like just 5.
Right.
It was like so kind of hard. Imagine now that I'm gonna do elections, who's gonna be in the meeting? Myself, my secretary, and who else? It's like, it's just hard, really. It's like, why? Because I feel like I don't have that connection with the parents like
Right.
before.
Okay. All right.
So I really, I do want to run sometimes, but it's like seeing the way the principal is, it just puts me so down.
Okay.
But Ruby, all I want to say is that during these difficulties that our executive board has experienced, I'm very happy that Tamara has helped us and Christian is doing the same. So it's having that support that I think many of us didn't know we had. Like, I never knew there was a president's council. Like, our parent coordinator never even told us there was a president's council or who was there to support us. I found this out through, like, you know, just getting together with other PTAs, and they're like, oh, have you been to President's Council? So I think it's something that parent coordinators should not be given like the role of, because there's a conflict of interest. So
Right.
they cannot be given like this full control of the PTA. It should be where we know coming in what the district should tell us. You have to go to President's Council. This is your support. If you have any issues, if you encounter any issues, you can reach out to FACE.
Right.
So I just want to tell Ruby that if you want to run, you should go for it, because you know, you have the support. And I think President's Council this year has been very supportive, and Christian and FACE are there to support the PTAs with what they need.
No, definitely. And yes, of course, I really thank Tamara for helping me out at the beginning of the year. She did help me a lot, and she guided me so much. And I'm so thankful for that. And I do, like, just listening to her sometimes, or her talking to us, it gives me that, you know, energy just to continue, because this is how I did it this year, really. Just because she showed me new things that I didn't knew. Like you say, I didn't know there were meetings. I was never into a meeting like this, you know. It was now that I know all of this. Yes, in a way, I do want to run, because I know a little bit more, because I know for the next president to come, it will be so hard to learn all of this.
Right. All right. Yes, Vito.
So I'd like to get the temperature of the room. 187, we're changing our bylaws, and we're including in our bylaws that
Yeah.
meetings have to be Zoomed or streamed in some manner
Yeah.
to
Mhm.
increase participation.
Right.
I know we only have a handful of people here, but do you think that's something that we should do as a president's council?
I thought they were updating the bylaws, the regulations to already include the virtual elections
No.
and meetings on stuff.
It
That's
I'm talking
what
about-
Adrian said.
It has
So
to be
my
a
school's gonna
virtual.
require PTAs going
Yeah.
forward to Zoom meetings.
Yes. Mine too. My bylaws are gonna state the same.
I think many of us are probably gonna continue to do this anyway with Zoom, just as an avenue, because we don't know what's gonna happen. You know what I mean? So I think a lot of us are probably gonna do in-person meetings and Zoom in at the same time. I know that's
Yes.
what my
Yes,
board
right,
decided.
Exactly.
You
right,
really need to, well, you don't need to, as long as everyone's in agreement, you
Right.
don't need to put it in the bylaws, but
Yeah.
if you want to make it a concrete thing that you do,
Exactly.
you can put it in the bylaws, and then everybody going forward would have to follow it or change the bylaws.
Right.
Is that
we-
something President's Council?
I'm sorry. So good, do you want to make it so that President's Council, you could be in person if we are in person and we can do Zoom at the same time?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's totally cool. But I'll be in person because I'm sick of being locked up.
Too. I would love to be, but I'm
I
with
will
you
be
guys.
there. I am ready to
No.
go.
But you can't get the bagels and cream cheese and coffee from home.
I'm so sick about not being around people. And I mean, I'm
Tell me about
around some people when I go to school, but
Oh, I don't even. at
I'm
least
done. I am
people-
vaccinated and ready to go.
You
I
know.
want to party. Hot girl summer. Here I come.
There you go. Yes. So that's that's something that needs to be discussed too as well.
And I'm wondering, is there
Sure.
a way that former presidents can maybe teach a new incoming president?
They're supposed to.
Okay, so it's not, you see, because we were always told it's
Who was your previous president? Let's start there.
Maria Rodriguez,
I don't even know who that is. Okay.
because she Tilcia Sola acted as a president. She did everything. She did treasury report. She did agenda. She did she did everything. She recruits parents and tells them, because our secretary now told me that Tilcia recruited her, telling her she didn't have to do anything. She's our secretary. All she had to do was go to the meeting. Tilcia would take care of the agenda. She would take care of
Oh,
everything.
the parent coordinator shouldn't be doing any of that.
And that's when I had a meeting, a executive board meeting, and I told the administration that we really wanted to get trained. We really wanted to learn how to do things. And they just have given us such a hard time about this. And I don't get it why. I really don't. I mean, it should be about empowering parents. It's not about putting them down.
Right. Let's put it this way. I've been doing this for a long time. Everybody knows that. I am right now writing everything down that happened this year for my incoming presidents that are coming in. And I know them personally, but I'm going to make sure that that's the whole idea is when you do that, it's like a handbook. You hand them the handbook, you give them your information. You also put in there that, when you do the transfer of records, everything has to go so they know. Because first of all, no one's going to know the context for your photographer. No one's going to know where all this stuff is. This is stuff you have to make sure that, you have to have almost like a sit down with them. That's the whole idea. I don't know. I guess I've been doing it too long. Ruby, who was your previous president?
Delavia Ayala.
Delaby. Okay. I remember her having problems too. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
she did. I know she went a lot of times, and she emailed a lot of times the same reasons I am having right now.
Exactly. All right. Then we have to straighten that out. Okay. All right. All right. All right. Anybody else? Any other questions, comments? No? All right. So then Anna and Ruby, just make sure that Tamara and Christian knows what's going on. CC me in if you like to. And let's see if we can get these problems solved before June 30th. Anybody else? Everybody else who is having their elections coming up in the next week or two before our next meeting, good luck. Congrats. And we'll see you all June, what was it, June, was it Vito? June what? Oh, ninth?
11th. The
11th.
11th.
Thank you, Tamara. June 11th, everyone. And June 11th, all of you, think
June
about
11th.
who wants to run. Because I won't be here so next year, so someone's got to take over.
Floor nominations. So you're gonna run it though, Janine.
I can run it. I'm running it. I'll run it. But think about running yourselves, everybody, and pass it on to those who aren't here at today's meeting. I will send out an email reminding everyone. All right, everybody, have a wonderful weekend.